Yes, Congressman Ako.
Pwede po bang matanong yung pulis? Hindi ko po maintindihan yung yung phrase na, but before that, nahuli na ba si Police Colonel Ibanez noon pa for certain offenses? Is that true? SIDG, hindi nyo alam? SITG, the IGM head, hindi nyo rin alam?
Officially, sir, the SITG has no record about any arrest involving Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez. But in one of our sources on social media, we read in the news that he has an existing case, criminal case about illegal drugs. But officially, sir, I cannot.
There's a report in 2006. They were assigned in Region 3, right?
Yes, sir.
As PDEG and CIDG officers respectively. Tama? Bakit hindi nyo alam? May report na Police Lieutenant Colonel Arnolfo Ibanez and Police Major Bienvenido Redado, who were formerly assigned in Pampanga as PDEG and CIDG officers respectively, were arrested by PDEA in 2006. May ask PDEA kung hindi masagot ng PNP, totoo ba ito?
Mr. Chairman, can we just be given time to look at all records here because this is 2006?
Yes, may I ask PNP and PDEA to verify the records? Kasi importante ito kung na-aresto na sila bakit nandiyan pa sila? And may I ask the General Cruz or General Karamat, ano ang ibig sabihin yung NWID, retained PNP personnel? Please explain to the members of this committee.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. NWID means National Watch List on Illegal Drugs, sir.
Yes. So, are you trying to tell me that Police Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez was already doon sa listahan ng NWID?
That's true, sir. Before Lieutenant Colonel was included in the National Watch List of Illegal Drugs, but he was cleared by the members of the National Watch List of Illegal Drugs, sir, before, because we have no concrete evidence, because I was part then of the body or the adjudication of those members who were included in that watch list. So we adjudicated the board, the body, adjudicated Police Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez in the absence of concrete evidence, sir, because the National Watch List on Illegal Drugs itself is not an evidence na talagang involved sila, sir, sa illegal drugs. So the body before created by the former chief PNP din, sir.
Kung hindi nyo ni-reproject si Ibanez, nangyari kaya ito? Or from the case, if that is true, that he had a case or he was arrested by PDEA, na-dismiss na siya sa serbisyo, nangyari kaya itong fiasco na ito?
I believe not, sir.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Will not
kasi,
happen, sir.
ni-reproject ninyo Di ba? That was the purpose why yung NWID for retained PNP personnel in-approve na ma-reproject si Police Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez and Police Master Sergeant Rodolfo Mayo. Magkasama na sila noon pa, 2020, nung ginawa nyo ito. Oh, ngayon, sino ang may kasalanan? Alam nyo na pala na involved sa drugs eh. Binalik nyo pa sa PDEG. You were once a commander of PDEG, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh. June 3, 2020, na-reassign si Colonel Ibanez, Master Sergeant Mayo, and Police Senior Master Sergeant Jimenez to PDEG. Kayo rin may kagagawan.
Yes,
Diba?
sir. I admit it's a failure of intelligence on the members of the committee. Yes, sir.
Let's assume, General Bong, na totoo yun na na-aresto siya noong July 6, 2020 ng PDEG. What did the PNP do about it?
That's the reason.
Wala kayong ginagawa ng kakamali mga tao ninyo eh. Kaya tumitigas ang ulo. Yung bata nga, pag pinababayaan mo na mali yung ginagawa, tumitigas ang ulo habang lumalaki eh. That, Vice Chair Bernardo, ayan ang nangyayari sa PNP. Noon, nandyan ako, pailan ng kaso, nadidismiss, nag-request ng nag-a-appeal, nababalik sa serbisyo. Ang nangyayari, kumukuha siya ng back pay, which I objected before when I was there. Kasi no work, no pay dapat. Ganon ang nangyari talaga. Doon sa region, pag wala na yung regional commander na reassign, nag-a-appeal na sila. At nababalik sa serbisyo. I think these things are supposed to be corrected. Pag mali, mali. Otherwise, we'll not be able to instill discipline among our men. Yun ang kwan dyan. Yung certainty of punishment, yun dapat na magpigil sa kanila sa paggawa ng mali. Kasi if it is true, bine-verify nyo ba yung records ninyo kung nahuli na si Police Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez in 2006 by PDEA? What happened to the case? Tapos, kung nahuli siya ng PDEA, sigurado drugs yun dahil yun ang jurisdiction ng drugs. And yet, the authorities of the PNP reprojected him sa drugs pa rin. Do you not see something wrong there? Huh? I do not know. Anong ginagawa niyo dyan sa loob ngayon?
Your Honor, that may be one of the strong suggestions we made in our last meeting to conduct a review of the entire PDEG and concept. Who are those people that has been selected to man the PDEG? And in terms of their performance, we have been strongly suggesting that, in fact, we conveyed that message to General Peralta, who represents the Chief PNP, when we are trying to find out what happened as to why people that has been identified has been removed from PDEG for that specific purpose were reprojected and were brought back again and given the same assignments and for that reason. What was the intelligence report that made them be found in the watch list of illegal drugs, and what was the evidence that had removed them? And those informations were not being available anymore at this time. And we have been asking them to submit whether to reorganize the entire concept itself. because it has been apparently unable to perform the way we are expecting them to do. We will be coming up a strong action on those things, Mr. Chair.
If you look at it, it's the board, according to General Karamat, who approved yung reprojection ni Juan, ni Colonel Ibanez. Actually, in March 27, 2020, nangyari yun. Under then Brigadier General Ferdinand Divina. Diba? Ang subject na ang kwan na yun is conduct of spotting activities of NWID recommended for retention. And that was approved in May 21, 2020. Diba? Official lahat documented. Pag-reproject. Diba? General Karaman?
That's correct, sir, but gusto ko lang itama po, sir, na hindi po ako yung nag-approve.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi.
Yes, sir. It was
I did not mention your name as part of the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ang sinabi ko lang na pangalan ay si General Divina. I do not know what was his position then. Because in May 21, 2020, the memorandum from Director PDEG with request for reassignment. Who was the PDEG director in May 21, 2020? Na siya ang nag-request na mapunta sa kanya itong mga taong ito.
Sir, pwede ko bang masabi, sir, yung nangyari, sir?
Ah?
Balikan natin, sir, yung pangyayari, sir, no, paano na-adjudicate, sir, si...
No, it's not adjudicate nyo. It's a board. It's official.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ang nakalagay dito sa report, May 21, 2020, may nangyari. It pertains to the NWID retained PNP personnel, namely Police Lieutenant Colonel Arnulfo Ibanez and Police Master Sergeant Rodolfo Mayo Jr., who were spotted for reprojection, deliberated and approved by DGI and Chairman SPRB on May 12, 2020. Do you confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yun pala eh. So, nasa inyo yung pagkakamali. Diba? Kagaya nga ng sabi ko, nung pinutol na natin nung nag-uumpisa pa, walang pangyayaring ganito. Baka maganda yung accomplishment talaga. Hindi ba? O tahimik kayo.
May I ask, Your Honor, if General Karamat is aware of, was there an instruction from anyone in the higher ups to reproject Colonel Ibanez and Sergeant Mayo? Meron bang ganon, General?
Actually, yes, sir. Actually, I was a member of that National Adjudication Board regarding those PNP personals that are included in the National Watch List on Illegal Drugs. And one of the na-adjudicate na inalis namin doon, sir, sa listahan ng NWID is Police Lieutenant Colonel Arnulfo Ibanez, sir. So there was a memo then from Directorate for Intelligence to reproject those people, sir. And
Including Sergeant Mayo?
including
si
Sergeant
Ibanez,
Mayo
sir.
and Sergeant Ibanez, sir. On our part, as a PDEG director, sir, actually it took us more than a month to background, to further revalidate these mammals na kung talagang fitted talaga sila, sir, na ma-reproject. And my intelligence officer, Colonel Red, recommended to me Police Lieutenant Colonel Arnulfo Ibanez na kunin dito, sir, sa PDEG because he was my intelligence officer before. Mistamo yan, ikaw ang mananagot. But let me put on record, sir, that before Lieutenant Colonel Ibanez was accepted to PDEG, hindi ko nakita yan eh. Hindi ko, 2 months, na-assign na po ako as a regional director sa Caraga. So, hindi ko po nagamit yan, sir, sa operations. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, please. May I also add that there is a third a third individual that was also been reprojected alongside with Ibanez and Mayo. This is the person of Jimenez. A certain Jimenez was alleged to have a residence near 1742 Abad Santos. And from the CCTV, it would show that during the transfer of some of these extracted shabu, inililipat lang po sa malapit na lugar. Makikita po ninyo sa CCTV, bumabalik yung mga naglilipat, naglalakad lamang. Nagka-counterflow pa nga yung ibang sasakyan at yung iba'y umaatras lamang. Nangangahulugan po, malapit lang. Hindi po nababanggit yung pangalang Jimenez sapagkat nag-resign kaagad nung ito ay nabuksan. If records will bear out, at least 3 of them were reprojected at the same time, jointly together. That would have been something that we are supposed to look at. Kaya what the motives have been done, and wag po lang mawala yung pangatlong tao to show how these things are being
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, before we acknowledge Congressman Bustos, may I acknowledge the presence of Congresswoman Luistro. Thank you for joining this committee hearing. Yes, Congressman Bustos.
Mr. Chair, since we are doing this in aid of legislation, and yung hesitation ni General Domingo nga, baka may epekto sa case, no? Wala naman tayong kasalanan doon dahil kahit wala nga ito, pwedeng i-request ng court, ng defense, i-present din yun eh. So, that, mentioning that, no, kung matatalo yung kaso doon, at least dapat may lesson dito. No? But before that, nabanggit yung accusation and claim, General Domingo, medyo mabigat yun eh, against also fellow officers, dalawa. Pinakikinggan ko rin po si Sir Garamat and si Sir Cruz, General Cruz. Yung pag-reproject, since matagal din ako sa community, so do sa internal security, siyempre may mga wisdom behind. Kaya nire-project po natin. Ang hirap naman manghuli. Ako, pag nilagay mo dyan, wala ba akong manghuli kahit 1 gramo? Kasi hindi mo naman din alam. Probably, on top, kung may kailangan tayong baguhin sa statute, dito sa POPN manual, sa internally po to, kailangan may adjustments. Sa nakikita ko po, tinanong natin yung Intel natin. Tama si Sir Karamat. Siyempre, nagre-rely tayo sa Intel. Pero dapat yung mga Intel, it's a must na may eligible dapat sila. At hindi, walang mag-assign sa PNP for the sake na yung commander mo po, bata niya to, bibigyan niya ito, accommodate the opposition. That's one. Secondly, umupo yung isang bagong PDEG chief. Siyempre, dapat yung nag-reproject, may handler talaga yan. Sila nag-project. Dapat i-brief din tong bagong upo, lalo na kung walang background naman sa domain na po yun, no? Medyo mahirap eh. Pag upo mo, paano mo malalaman? Sino babantayan mo? Eh, siyempre, nire-project natin yan. Pero dapat aware yung commander, yung overall commander. Para alam niya kung paano niya i-adjust yung mga decisions. That's kailangan talaga magkaroon ng adjustment sa manual natin sa PDEG lalo na. And also sa POP. Baka meron ng hindi relevant o hindi na practical. Halimbawa sa bypass, kailangan ba may test by yung itinawag kay Colonel Olonan, biglaan nyo, wala naman test by, tapos biglang bypass. Pero sa POP, nandun yung test by, di po ba, Sir Karamat? Di po ba? O nandun po yun. Yun yung mga sinasabi ko. May makukuha tayong lesson dito na mas gaganda pa po yung PNP. Yung sa, total, nakuha naman natin yung contraband, no? Yung prohibited item. And nasa radar na natin si Mayo. And if I may suggest also, sa background check, to include Colonel Ibanez and Gonzales and other officers na pwedeng ma-assign. One way to do it also, dun sa mga awards, dun sa mga accomplishment niya through the years, may mga medalya po lahat yan, mga polis, may medalya eh. Makikita mo kasi doon sa narration ng accomplishment kung paano nila na trabaho. Mamaya baka modus na lang. At least nakikita natin kung talagang trabaho kapag iba-iba kwento. Pero pag pare-pare lang po kwento, hindi na totoo yun. Lalo na pag nasa drug enforcement. Kapag yung arrest, affidavit of arrest, yung contents doon, so doon din na medyo red flag eh. So kung ako intelligence officer, babantayan ko yung ganong klaseng mga arrest, no? So here, napakarami nating officers and probably some of the PNP officers, junior commanders are even watching. Ang importante dito, guided tayo sa 9165. Kasi hindi ka pwede magdedesisyon dun sa ground na you're already violating a statute. Kahit no matter how good your intention is, binayolate mo yun, tinake life mo, sasabit ka. So dito, makakapulot tayo ng mahalagang aral. Ano po? So, if you think merong kailangan, the purpose of this, isa sa mga purpose natin dito ng chairman and the members, is kung meron ba tayong kailangan amendahan sa 9165, and then meron bang kailangan i-review at gawin dun sa POP ng PNP, and then kailangan ba may additional pamphlet or guidelines para dun sa mga nasa intelligence community and itong nasa PDEG. Yun po kasi. Kaya may mga lapses kasi hindi natin naipasa dun sa mga bagong upo o na endorse itong mga na-project. Probably, if it is written, then it is somehow institutionalized kahit internally sa organization. With this hearing, I'm sure ang na-achieve natin dito, hindi na maulit. And then mas babantayan na natin yung mga nire-project natin at yung lalagay natin yung teleoperative, mas ayusin natin. And then yung pre-ops, kailangan sagrado. Di ba? Yung sa pre-ops, iba yung kwento ng gumalaw, tsaka iba yung nag-approve. So, Mr. Chair, since on my part, halos yung sa criminal aspect, iba-iba naman ang version. It's up for the court, pero for the appreciation of the court. But for me, I think we really need to review with the help of the resource persons yung kung sa 9165 kung meron dapat amendment doon. And I am strongly suggesting to the top leadership of the PNP, especially the experts in sa CIDG, sa criminal aspect and sa admin aspect kay Sir Cruz, probably we need to review or revisit our POP and probably we need to add some innovation. And for our young commanders, future commanders also in the future, not so kayo magiging commander, guided po dapat kayo talaga sa statute, sa batas at sa manual. Kahit maganda yung objective, nasakripisyo mo yan, hindi pwede. Kasi mayroong mga mas malalaking bagay na kinoconsider natin, like democracy. So that's it, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congressman Bustos. Congresswoman Luistro.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon to all our colleagues and resource speakers. I want to go back to the drug operation involving Sergeant Mayo. I understand that in our previous committee hearings, we were able to unfold, Mr. Chair, the issue of reward system, the savings, basura, sometimes they call. And I understand as well that most, if not all, drug operation starts with having an informant or asset. So may we be enlightened, Mr. Chair, paano ho ba nag-umpisa itong drug operation involving Sergeant Mayo? Sino ang naging informant? Sino ang naging asset na kinonsider ng PNP? PDEG, to be particular, Mr. Chair.
Okay, would you want the former PDEG director to reply to your query, Congresswoman Luistro?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
But before that, this is a working lunch hosted by Congressman Bustos and Congressman Busita. Please enjoy the lunch served.
And myself
committee.
also, Mr.
And
Chair.
of course, Congresswoman Luistro. General Domingo.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. When I arrived at the crime scene, nakita ko si Lieutenant Colonel Gonzales na nandoon na hindi naman siya PDEG.
Colonel Gonzales.
Lieutenant Colonel Gonzales po.
Yeah, Colonel.
Tinanong ko siya bakit nandun siya. Ang sagot sa akin is, Sir, informant ko ang gamit dito sa operation na to. With that, maybe the Chief SOU4A could further elaborate.
On my part, Your Honor, as I have said a while ago, si Lieutenant Susungko nagpaalam sa akin na may bypass operation on October 8 at around siguro, Your Honor, mga alas 9. Tinanong ko siya, kaninong trabaho yan? It means, sino yung may handler ng informant? He told me na, sabi niya, informant ang IFLD, sir.
IFLD.
Yes, Intelligence and Foreign Liaison Division ng PDEG. So, sige, sabi ko, basta you prepare necessary documents for the bypass operation. Yun lang sagot po sa akin ng aking team leader, si Lieutenant Susongko.
I think, Mr. Chair, then we are prompted to ask now the IFLD. Sino po ba ang naging informant natin? With all due respect to all our resource speakers, the question is very simple. Sino po ang naging informant which led to the operation leading to the arrest of Sergeant Mayo?
Congresswoman Luistro, if I may, I think they will not reveal the name of the asset for security purposes. So, but General Domingo and Colonel Olonan has stated that the information was given to them by intelligence IFLD.
Mr. Chair, because it is apparent that I've been listening since we started at around 9 o'clock, no? All we hear are the conflicting versions of our PNP officials and personnel. And it is truly lamenting, no? Parang it's the word of one against the word of another coming from the very people whom we expect will be apprehending all these criminals, no? We are here to shed light dun sa totoong nangyari. I joined the committee in our stand that we are not against anyone. We only want to be enlightened on the reality of the issues surrounding this drug operation. Kaya lang, Mr. Chair, sobrang nakakalungkot kasi wala tayong maliwanag na makuhang version dito. And apparently, they are conflicting with each other. So I thought of utilizing instead the asset or the informant which led to this drug operation. If it is possible for us to resort to an executive session, so we can get in touch with the asset na nag-umpisa po ng drug operation na ito. Because it appears that all the people who were in the CCTV, whose name are being mentioned in this drug operation, have versions which conflict with each other, Mr. Chair. So, ito po naman na pag-usapan na natin before may reward system, may informant, may asset. Saan ho ba talaga nag-umpisa ito? I honestly believe that getting in touch with the asset or the informant which led to this operation, which will help us a lot in shedding light to this controversy, Mr. Chair. If I may continue, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Just like what our distinguished colleague stated earlier, we are here as to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation. No? Kanina po na-mention ni, with all due respect, General Karamat, na-mention po kanina ng ating CIDG Director that they filed already Section 27 of RA 9165. No? Pwede po bang malaman ano ho ba ang penalty imposed under Section 27 of RA 9165? Sorry, General.
Thank you, ma'am. I have my legal officer here to answer your query, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sirs, ma'am. The penalty imposable in violation of Section 27 of 9165 is life imprisonment to death.
Life imprisonment to death. So this is tantamount to saying that we are imposing the maximum penalty here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That is very well noted, Mr. Chair. But I think with this development on drug operation cases, I think this is reason enough for us to come up with a specific provision pertaining to police officer involved in illegal drug operation. And moving forward, Mr. Chair, with respect to the admin side, Vice Commissioner Bernardo, we are not, of course, aware about the administrative penalties except our general knowledge about dismissal. I just thought of the need to evaluate the possibility of imposing a no reinstatement policy, especially in cases of police personnel found involved in illegal drug operation. Because this is the point of COMACOP, no? The reprojection, similar to the reinstatement, gives opportunity to this police personnel to even continue their involvement in illegal drug operation, perhaps in a larger scale pa nga po, no? So this is just a suggestion that perhaps we can study on the possibility of imposing. Number one is a no reinstatement policy, meaning once you are found administratively involved in illegal drug operation, wala ka ng chance pumasok ulit. At kung wala kang chance pumasok ulit, lalong wala kang chance for reprojection. Second, Mr. Chair, because I see this always in ombudsman cases, in administrative cases, perhaps we can consider also, Mr. Chair, the possibility of imposing perpetual disqualification to assume any government office. And number three, Mr. Chair, because we are hearing very long investigation which to this date ay wala pa pong kalinawan, maybe we can include also a mandatory period for our investigation and resolution of admin cases similar to the continuous trial law where the court is constrained to finish the hearing and the resolution of all criminal cases. And finally, Mr. Chair, this is actually a suggestion which needs the comment of our NAPOLCOM Commissioner, Vice Commissioner Bernardo. And for my last concern, Mr. Chair, General Domingo made a lot of revelations, and I'm very much interested to know the details of which. So may I request for a copy of your narration, General Domingo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luis Trom. Yes, we will ask a copy of the narration made by General Domingo, but we will still give him a little more time later on because apparently he has more revelations to make. And as I made it clear earlier that we will give him that time after we finish the questioning in the other personalities involved in this 990 kilo Shabu haul. We will expect that there are more information that will come out later in the hearings this morning. So anybody else who would like to ask?
I
Yes,
am
Congresswoman.
submitting to the resolution of this committee the need to know the informant of the IFLD and the possibility of resorting to an executive session, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
For resolution of the committee, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the request of Congresswoman Luistro is noted. And before this committee adjourns today, we will call for an executive session.
Mr. Chair, do we have representative from IFLD?
Yes, the head of the IFLD, Colonel Portrera, is present. And, so again, before we adjourn this committee hearing today, we will call for an executive session. But before that, we'd like to continue with our propounding of questions to the resource persons.
Mr. Chair, can we hear first the comment of our Vice Commissioner Bernardo relative to our recommendation about the possible additional penalties in administrative cases?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, under Republic Act 8551 in Section 53, we have a summary dismissal proceedings. We're empowered to do that. In fact, the summary nature, it has to be disposed of within 2 months. The penalty would carry perpetual disqualification, forfeiture of their benefits, and that is just the minimum. We have a memorandum of agreement with the Office of the Ombudsman, especially with the Mayo. We're supposed to file also criminal complaint based on our determination that criminal aspect of the acts and omissions that have been the subject matter of administrative proceeding should also be acted upon. Kaya we will traverse that issue very soon, Madam Chair. Yes.
Mr. Chair, may we know from Vice Commissioner Bernardo who takes care of the criminal aspect of the cases filed with the Ombudsman, with the administrative cases instead?
The administrative cases will be handled by the NAPOLCOM. Offhand, we have allowed the PNP to take the initiative. We have the Internal Affairs Service under the PNP to take that initiative. Even when the initiative has not been forthcoming, it is only then that we may feel that we must come into we must take the culture from there. And we also would like to find out whether the disposition of the Internal Affairs Service has been in accordance with the provisions of law. We have the appellate jurisdiction. We can review dismissal and demotions or penalty issued by the chief of the Philippine National Police. We have that authority to oversee the conduct of administrative investigation. But in certain cases similar to this, we can assume jurisdiction as the disciplining authority under existing laws and jurisprudence. On the matter of criminal cases, we can file criminal complaint, and then the Office of the Ombudsman, the Mayo, the Deputy Ombudsman for Military Organization and Law Enforcement units are handled by a specific Deputy Ombudsman. We will be collaborating lawyers. We will assist in the prosecution of those individual concerned when the hearing is already done. Certainly that will be filed before the Sandigan Bayan at the appropriate time.
May we know, Mr. Chair, the involvement or participation of the CIDG with respect to the filing of the criminal aspect of all administrative cases?
There are disciplinary machinery within the PNP. If they intend to file criminal cases, sometimes if these are criminal cases, for example, violation of 9165, sometimes they choose to file that in a regular court. But as far as NAPOLCOM is concerned, in as much as there are government officers that may be involved, we would opt to file that before the Office of the Ombudsman and later on with the Sandigan Bayan. That is something that we are currently contemplating, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, with the confirmation of Vice Commissioner Bernardo that there is already an existing provision for summary dismissal and even perpetual disqualification with forfeiture of all the benefits,
Yes, Your
then
Honor.
perhaps what we need here is to stringently apply the measures so that we will do away with the police personnel who are not in line with our avowed duty. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr. Chair.
We now, okay,
Mr.
Congressman
Chair.
Busita, you have 5 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, ito pong issue na pinag-uusapan natin ay malaking volume of shabu. More than 1,000 kilograms. And as former police commission officer, naobserbahan ko lang, Mr. Chair, na itong ating mga operatives headed by General Domingo, sana hindi ay mali yung aking observation. Parang ang nagiging direction po ng investigation that we are conducted now is ang hinahanap natin ay yung lapses, yung mali ng operatives. Parang may dalawang angle kasi, Mr. Chair. Yung trabaho ng operatiba, yes, kung may lapses, tingnan natin para ma-correct at wag nang maulit pa. Na parang kung titingnan po natin, sila lang ang may mali eh. Na kung babalikan po natin, Mr. Chair, si General Domingo ang nag-open kay Chief PNP, former Chief PNP General Asurin, na mag-create ng SITG 990. And nabanggit niya rin po, inaffirm niya, siya yung nag-suggest, nag-recommend through DI. Now, the Chief PNP, no, General Acorda, which was accordingly approved by the former Chief PNP and DCO, General Santos, na gamitin si Sergeant Mayo para makuha pa yung mas malaking volume of shabu, according to him. So, analyzing all those informations, parang first, nagtrabaho si General Domingo together with his personnel. Wala siyang dala sa PDEG. Ang tapang nga niya eh. Pupunta ka sa isang operating unit, wala kang dalang bata-bata. So, ang laki ng accomplishment niya. Siya yung nagkaroon ng SITG 990 headed by General Cruz because of General Domingo. So, gusto niyang maging maayos yung trabaho. I am not saying na tama ako, pero nakikita ko may dedikasyon siya eh. Ang nakikita ko lang, Mr. Chair, ang direction is, yung lapses niya ang nakikita ng iba. Na parang, kung akong nasa position ni General Domingo, pagsisisihan ko ito eh. Bakit? Naging transparent ako sa Chief PNP to create SITG headed by General Cruz. At pagsisisihan ko, bakit nagsuggest ako? Do hindi pa to na-validate kung totoo yung sinasabi niya. Kung ako si General Domingo, pagsisisihan ko, bakit nag-recommend ako kay General Asurin, the former Chief PNP, na gamitin si Sergeant Mayo. So, actually, Mr. Chair, hindi ko naman nakasama si General Domingo. Kung ako lang na nasa position niya, pagsisisihan ko yung ginawa niya eh. So, my point, Mr. Chair, as member of this honorable committee is, though sabihin natin may lapses, hindi naman po na-perfect, Mr. Chair, ang trabaho eh. Alam po yan, Honorable Congressman Acop. No po. Hindi po natin kinukuberan kung may lapses. ang hindi lang po for me as member of this committee, parang ang direksyon, madiin itong mga to eh. Sayang yung trabaho, putol. So kung hinahanapan po natin sila ng lapses and aid of legislation, so be it. Pero ilang oras na po tayo dito, eh siguro po, Mr. Chair, napakaganda, nabanggit po ninyo, si Sergeant Mayo is available through Zoom. Nandyan din po si Lieutenant Colonel Gonzales and Colonel Ibanez. So, if I may suggest, Mr. Chair, in aid of legislation, kasi po napakaganda nitong House Resolution number 495, authored by our Honorable Chairman, Representative Robert Barbers. So, Mr. Chair, sana po bigyan ng patas yung ano ba yung mali ng operatives natin, PDEG, and bigyan din po natin ng attention yung sinasabi ni General Domingo, those personnel involved dito sa issue na ito, especially Sergeant Mayo, Colonel Ibanez, and Colonel Gonzales. Otherwise, Mr. Chair, ang kinakatakot ko po dito, matatakot na yung mga operatiba natin ng PDEG and other operating units. Kasi magtrabaho ka, naging transparent ka sa commander, eh ikaw pa yung napapadiin. Again, Mr. Chair, quote-unquote, for the record, hindi ko sinasabing huwag pag-usapan yung lapses ng operatiba. Pero pag-usapan din po natin those personnel involved dito sa issue na ito. Again, Sergeant Mayo, Colonel Gonzales, and Colonel Ibanez. Dahil ito po, kung hindi po natin mabigyan ng proper attention, magiging duwag na yung ating mga operatiba. Matatakot na magtrabaho. Napakahirap po kasi ng operatiba eh. Nakataya ang kanilang buhay. Hindi sigurado kung makakauwi pa sa pamilya. Ang masakit nito, sinasabing may involved na PNP personnel dito sa illegal drugs, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin lahat silang involved, involved talaga. And personally, alam ko, majority ng PNP personnel mabubuti. Nasisira lamang ang PNP organization dahil sa bilang na nasasangkot o gumagawa ng katiwalian. So dapat, Mr. Chair, ma-address ito properly. Yung lapses nila, pag-usapan po natin. And alamin natin, kausapin din natin, magsalita din, itong mga involved na nabanggit po dito sa issue na to. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Salamat, Congressman Busita. Of course, bibigyan natin ng pagkakataon ang ating mga inimbitahan ng mga resource persons na magbigay din ng kanilang panig, no? Kasi sa gaya nga ng nabanggit natin kanina sa umpisa, that they are given, no, the right to speak. Kaya nga kasi nino-honor natin at nire-respeto natin yung due process. Kaya ito yung pagkakataon nila. Ang pakiusap lamang natin na huwag kayong magsisinungaling sa committee ito. Dahil there are serious consequences. And by this time, alam nyo na yan kung ano yan. And yun ang ating gustong palabasin. Yes, we will tackle the lapses. We will, this is all in aid of legislation. But mind you, hindi lamang po proposed legislation ang aming isasubmit sa committee report, kundi proposed or recommended prosecution against anyone who we feel have violated the law, have committed infractions of the law. Yan ang kasama dyan sa ating committee report. So, maraming salamat, Congressman Busita.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.